But I did not expect to film today. It just goes to show you, if you're not, I mean, right when you're not expecting it, I just dug a bucket lister, and I can't even believe it's here. This is my first trip out since I had my mild heart attack and my little issues. So I decided to come out and just kind of ease back into things. And I'm over here doing my sister's yard. Now this yard is full of debris and crap. I've been going around through here. I've gotten myself some clad. I got 2 wheat pennies out of here. But I did not expect to film today. It just goes to show you, if you're not, I mean, right when you're not expecting it, I just dug a bucket lister, and I can't even believe it's here. Looks like a barber half. I haven't even really, oh my God, it is. That is a barber half. Oh my God. All right, looks like there's something stuck to the back of it here. I'm gonna have to, oh, look at that. Yep, no doubt, that's a barber half. All right, I'm gonna get this cleaned up, and I will show you when I clean this up. But I can't believe this. This is, like I said, it's my sister's yard. This house isn't even that, I didn't think it was old enough for something like this, but it was down there too. It was down in the hole probably about 6 inches, and it was ringing up like another piece of iron back here. This place is just littered with iron, but wow. All right, let me get right back to you. All right, guys, I got this cleaned up as good as I can. I brought it over here so I could see in the light, but I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. It's in rough shape, and I think I hit it with my digger, but definitely a barber half, which I've never dug before. So that's going to be a bucket lister, and it's $18.99. Now I can't get it to focus. Let's see. All right, I'm not getting it to focus here. I will definitely get this cleaned up. I don't like to clean up my silver, but this is going to be hard to see without it. So anyway, I'll get this cleaned up. I'll show you in the wrap up, but this goes to show you can go to a place you're not expecting to find anything. Like I said, I'm at my sister's house, and my sister just came home. Say hi, sis.
Hello.
Yep.
How are you?
Thank you.
You're welcome. I told you to come here.
Yeah.
At work, I said, go to
She's
my
been
house.
telling me to come here, and I didn't want to come here because I've been finding crap. But at any rate, got a barber half. See you on the next. All right, guys, what's up? Got out today I'm just out for an hour. I'm actually right down the road from my house. I'll show you a little bit of the yard I'm doing. A little tiny yard, just out in the front here. And ended up with decent signal. I thought it was going to be a penny, but it's going to be an older button. Probably has a back mark on there. It's not a shank or anything, but it's got a little crown on it, so that's kind of cool. But I'll get it cleaned up. We'll see what we come up with. Figured I'd try here today. I had some plans to get out, but they kind of fell through, so ended up not doing much today. And it's almost evening time, so it's kind of cooler out, so I decided to just come up to my neighbor's house. I mean, after yesterday finding that barber half in my sister's yard, I figured, what the heck, let me try up the road at the neighbor's house. So all right, I'll get this cleaned up. I'll show it to you in the wrap. Okay, I moved out of the front and just coming through the side here. I just found an older, like a brass key over here. The last time I was here, I just kind of went a little haphazardly back here. I mean, you can see it's a real small yard, but there is a clothesline here, an older set of clotheslines. But next find is going to be a little religious pendant of some type. When I went to wipe it, this little metal piece, I guess it was glued on right there, but it's going to be a religious pendant. Not precious or anything, but not a bad little find. So I'll clean it up, see if I can glue that on there. Maybe put it in a little display or something, depending on how bad it is. But, all right. We're going to keep going, and see what else we come up with. I'll see you on the next. Alright, still going along in my neighbor's yard. I dug, 2 or 3 wheat pennies in here since the last clip that I took, but just ran across this. Just going to be a spoon, but it's a silver plate. Let's see, I rubbed off the, yeah, you can probably maybe see the silver plate logo on it. There you go, silver plate. Nothing much, but a little interesting find. So we're going to continue going. Getting later now, probably 7:30, going for 8 maybe, I don't know. So we're going to keep on putzing around in here until the light goes out. Alright, we'll see you on the next or on a wrap. Alright, still going in the backyard here. Now this house doesn't appear to be too old. Most of the houses here, including my house, which is about 3 or 4 houses away, were built around the 20s, maybe late teens, but most of them are 1920s or even later. I know one of them up here was in the 30s, but coming up through here, I think I got one more wheat penny, but I just hit an Indian there. And I think it's 1880s at least. I'll have to get that cleaned up, but didn't think, and it was very shallow. It wasn't very deep at all. So, like I said, I did hit this yard once before, but I just kind of, I didn't have a lot of time, and I just kind of crisscrossed it. Now I'm kind of working a nice straight pattern up through here. Like I haven't even been over this side yet. I just kind of have been slowly coming up through here, but all right, hey, we'll take an Indian any day, which means there might be something older. It's the same thing as at my sister's house yesterday in that clip where you saw me find the barber half. That house doesn't look old enough to have that. That was 1899. I don't think those houses were built until the 1900s, but you don't know what was there before that. According to one of my very old neighbors, this entire neighborhood, this entire area, when she was a little girl and that house was built on the corner next to mine, the front road out here was a dirt path, and back here was all apple orchards. So this could be part of the old farm. I don't know. But at any rate, we'll take it. All right, we'll see you on the next or on the wrap. Okay, still going. Just found the Indian over there and come over here and I got another spoon. Not too far from where the other one was. The other one was right in here too, but this is going to be another, looks like another silver plate. Let me see here. Yep, silver plated. So, hey, a little relic. We'll take it. All right. See if we can't get on something a little better than a spoon. But, all right. See you on the next. Okay, still going. Spoon was over here. Coming up through this way here. A couple of little junk signals. And was getting a real erratic signal. I almost didn't dig it because I really couldn't even lock onto it. But good thing I did. I was kind of hoping I'd find one of these in here. This is a buffalo nickel. And as far as a date, let's see. See if we can get a date off of it. Oh, hold on a minute. There we go. Looks like it's going to be difficult, but definitely a buffalo. So we'll take that. But, okay, we're going to keep on going. It's going to be getting dark here, but I'm going to go until I can't see. Maybe have about, I don't know, maybe half an hour light. But, all right, we'll see you on the next. Okay, still going, getting darker. I had a weird, a bouncy tone. Turned out to be just a shell casing. But as I was digging the hole out, I found this. And this is a big one. I mean, I'm assuming it's old, but I love finding marbles. Look at that. This is bigger than the smaller ones that I normally find. Might have a little chip out of it right there, but I don't care. You can see some, looks like some air bubbles in it. And like I said, maybe a little bit of damage, a little bit of chipping on it, but I'll clean it up and show you in the wrap up. But I know I didn't hit it. Came out in a big chunk, but That's kind of cool. I don't know why. I love finding marbles. I see marbles and my eyes are like, ooh, pretty. I don't know, but all right, we're gonna keep going. Getting darker now. Don't know how much more I'll get. Don't think I'll get the rest of this side. It's not that big, but I can come here anytime I want. So we'll see what else we come up with. All right, we'll see you on the next or on a wrap. All right, guys, what's up? This is going to be the wrap up on those last couple of clips you saw. But first of all, just want to take a minute and say thank you to everybody that commented last week on my last video, and everybody that had the kind words to say. I did have a mild heart attack a few weeks ago, and everybody kind of just had a lot of nice words and well wishes, and I really appreciate that. I'm doing great. Just a little bit tired here and there, but I mean, thankfully it wasn't that bad, and I didn't have any heart damage, so I was able to get out this week. 2 different places, as you saw in the clips, and I'll explain them real quick. But I just wanted to say thanks a lot, everybody that responded with them kind words and well wishes. I really appreciate it. And we're gonna slowly ease into getting back out. I was out twice for not too long, just 2 local places. Hoping to get back out, full time again. I usually try to get out a couple of times a week, but just haven't obviously been able to. But did 2 short hunts, and I did fantastic. So let's get into that. Now, the first place you saw me do was my sister's place. And I ended up with a bucket lister there, and I'll show you that in a minute. But my sister's been after me for the past year. Come over to my house and metal detect. Now, as you saw in the clip there, when I was talking about how I didn't want to do her yard, there was some kind of a business or a factory, something going on there, and the ground, it's not that there's debris all over the yard. There's debris in the ground. There's tons of iron. I was getting nails. I mean, I put the iron audio on the Ace 400, and it was just grunting completely, constant. So a lot of the good signals that I thought I was going to get out of there turned out to be like large iron, So I was reluctant to do it, but I was getting the itch. I hadn't been out, I says, all right, sis, I'll come over and do your yard. So this is what that yard turned out to be like. Got, I think, a piece of a lantern piece. Of course, the obligatory mason jar lid. This has the HA symbol on it for Hazel Atlas. It's just a piece of metal. I got a little clip there, a little snap. Looks like it's a piece that would have been on leather, so it could be older. Modern stuff, I got 1 nickel. I got 2 quarters, 9 zinc pennies, 3 dimes, and another 6 copper pennies. As far as relics and decent stuff, I thought this was going to be a glob of lead, but it turns out to be a cowboy there, or a soldier on a horse. When I cleaned it up, I noticed it had a shape to it. And it looks like it's pretty old, and it's got some weight to it, so it's definitely lead. I also got this cool little decorative piece of something. I don't know what it is. It was broken. You can see it's broken in 2 pieces. I might have broke it when I was taking it out of the ground. I don't know what it is, but it's got some fancy on it. Part of maybe I don't know, some people call them escutcheons, or could be like a decorative thing around a drawer pull or something. I'm not sure, but as far as the old coins, I'll show you that bucket lister in just a minute, but I ended up with 2 Wheaties, and they're both 1944. I think one is, let's see, I don't know if that's going to focus, but I believe one is an S and one is a D. Kind of hard to see. They're in pretty rough shape, and these are cleaned up too. I mean, they were black coming out of the ground. That whole yard was full of, besides that, the iron and stuff, it was all coal ash and debris. Not the ideal yard that you might want to do, but despite that, I ended up with a bucket lister. Now, it's not too pretty, but that is an $18.99 Barber $half. There was a piece of iron welded, just stuck to it there. And it was black. And I usually don't clean up my silver too much, but this is in some pretty rough shape. I don't know if you can tell, it's a little bit shiny, but it's pitted and scratched. And this is the other side. You can see how scratched up that is, but I don't care. It's the prettiest thing I've ever seen, right? That is only the third $50 that I've ever dug. I dug one last year. I dug one the year before. And keeping with tradition so far, we dug one this year, and it happened to be something I have never dug before. So I got myself a barber half, which I'm thrilled about. And my sister was busting me because she's like, see, I told you to come do my yard. When I dug this, I almost didn't dig it because it was bringing up like one of them solid big iron pieces. It was showing that it was like 6-8 inches down, and I figured it was just going to be another big piece of iron or something, and had, you know, it was ringing a solid 99.98 on my machine on the Ace 400. So to me it was going to be like trash, but I said, let me go dig it up, and I dug it up and was pleasantly surprised with that. So that was the first hunt at my sister's house. So the second time I got out was at a neighbor's house 3 doors up from where I live. I previously did the yard once before, and I did the front. I covered the front pretty good, but I went into the back. I went under the clotheslines, dug a couple of wheat pennies last time I was there, but I was kind of bouncing around. It was kind of all haphazard. So I went back there the other day and decided to go and grit it off and do straight up and down the yard, and ended up with a lot more finds than just those Wheaties. No silver in the yard except for these 2 spoons, which are silver plated, and you can see silver plate right there maybe, and both of them say that. I think they're both identical, but still, you know, not a bad find. Just some little relics. I got a couple pieces of junk here. I ended up with 3 pennies. I also got this. Now it's lead, and it looks just like that this type of center there looks like the hem weights that you find, but every hem weight I've ever found was round. But this has it's got a little E on there, on the top there. I mean, it could be, maybe it's a different type of hem weight or curtain weight or something. Like I said, it's lead, it's got some weight to it. But I don't know, it could be something else. But I'd like to call it a square hem weight. A little piece of something here, maybe part of inside of a watch or something. I'm not sure what's going on with that. A little lid to a small box, a little small container busted off at the hinge there. I got a brass key. I got this cool button, some nice gilding left on it. I soaked it in lemon juice, and it's not very old. I mean, you know, that's the kind of attachment it had, so it's not like it had a shank, but it's a 2-piece button, but still got a nice little design on it, a little crown design there, so that's pretty neat. This little thing, I'm not sure if this was, you know, some kind of piece off of some kind of jewelry or something. Looks like it had a pin backing on it, so probably just something like that, a little junk jewelry or something. I also dug this cool marble. I included that in one of the clips. It's pretty big, and you can see the bubbles all through it. Now it's got some, you can see the pits in it. It's got a little bit chipped there, but hey, it's intact. So, but I just thought that's pretty cool. I don't know anything about these marbles. I don't know ages or types or anything, but every time I find a marble, it ends up going home with me. Like I said, it's one of those things that just catches my eye and makes me go, ooh. Okay, so I ended up with some coins. Now, these are all wheat pennies, but the first one there is a 1909, so that's the first year. It's not an S or a D, and there's no VDB on the back of it. It's in pretty rough shape, but it's pretty cool that it's a first year there. So we got that. I got another early one. It was 1916. The next one's 1926. And then a 1929. And then you start getting up into the 30s and 40s with these. That one there was a 35, then a 38, and a 41, which I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. Some of these were a little bit rough. And a 42. And I cleaned all these up with electrolysis. That's why they kind of look okay. Most of them were pretty grimy. That's why I decided to clean them. But I thought it was pretty cool to get a 1909 out of that. That's like the second or third 1909 penny I've ever found. And, of course, none of them are the key date, 1909S or S with the VDB. But, hey, we'll take those all day. And I did get an Indian out of that yard. Now, again, it's in rough shape. See if we'll get a focus on it. It is an 1888 Indian head. And I had to clean this one up too because it was really hard to see. I'm pretty certain that this is going to predate any of the houses there. Like I said, the oldest house there would have been my neighbor's house. I had some very old neighbors. They're in their 90s now. And they told me, like I was mentioning in that clip, that road that I was on, that side street there, was a dirt path that went down into the back section by the riverbank, and there's a cemetery back there. But that whole section, that whole area, even where these houses were, would have been fields, and they had an apple orchard back in there. So I don't know if that's going to be, related to that or what, but the house definitely wasn't old enough to have that. Probably the house was probably built in the late 20s, early 30s, as most of them were on that street. My neighbor's house and my house are probably the two oldest houses there, and they were built in the late teens and early 20s. So, nevertheless, still a pretty interesting find, and I'll take Indians all day. But all right, so I also found this. There's a little piece of a rivet, maybe off of jeans or something. Real small find that rang up pretty decent. This was a religious pendant. It came apart a little bit when I was cleaning it, but that was on the inside, and then this little thing right here, the little, I guess it's the Blessed Mother there, was in the middle of that. So anyway, you get the idea. And on the back side, it's an Immaculate Heart of Mary pendant. And I don't know, like I said, in these, especially in a lot of these towns, these mining towns where I live and the next town over, there was a lot of, like the town was kind of divided up into sections, and they were all very religious. You'd have like the Italians in one part of town, the Polish in another part, or the Irish in another part, especially in the mining towns around here. And so finding these religious things is like, I find them all the time in a lot of the yards that I do, the local yards that I do around here. Not so much at the old farmhouses and things when I go out with like Chris or Dave, but you find them. I also found a buffalo nickel, which is dateless. It's pretty crudted up, but still, take a buffalo nickel anytime, right? And again, another one of these mason jar caps. This one is blank, except it says genuine Boyd's cap, and this one here says the same thing, but it's probably manufactured for this company, for the Hazel Atlas Glass Company. This one here, there's nothing on. So like I said, I find these, I've got stacks of these, because the zinc lays across the top of them from the screw lid. And sometimes you'll get the whole lid with this inside of it, and this is intact. Sometimes it's all busted up. Or sometimes you'll just get the very top zinc part, and it rusts away from the screw enclosure there, the screw attachment. But they ring up, and they ring up pretty high too when you got most of the cap or the whole cap there. So anyway, so this is what I got this week, which, for not getting out and just doing two very small places right here in town, I'm quite happy with that. I mean, especially finding a bucket lister in a place that you would have never thought about. That's why I say, it always pays to just go check on these places. If you have a permission to do and it doesn't look like it's going to be the best, go ahead and go over it. I mean, because you might end up pulling something out like this that you never found before, and get yourself a bucket list find. I mean, it's not the prettiest one, but for being my first, it's the most beautiful thing I ever saw. So, But yeah, I'd always do those yards. I mean, I'll save them kind of yards, especially those permissions that I have very close to my house. My sister does not live very far away from me, a couple blocks over. And of course, I had those neighbors' houses there, and I have permission for one or two other ones in that area. And I just save them for, you know, when I don't have anything else to do or I don't have a lot of time to get out, I can just walk right up the road with my machine and go hit the neighbor's yard, you know. So it pays to be friendly with the neighbors, you know. But all right, I'm gonna wrap this up here. I hope you enjoyed this. I really enjoyed getting out and doing it. It felt good to get back out again after not being out for 3 weeks or so, and thankfully I'm able to continue. You know, it could have been much worse, but you know, good Lord was with me, and I was lucky. So all right, until next time, you guys that are out there doing this, stay safe, have fun. I hope to see more stuff from all of the channels that I subscribe to. And if you like this video, I'd really appreciate it if you'd hit that like and hit that subscribe button. I try to get videos out every week to 2 weeks, and I got a couple more places lined up. Possibly doing another hunt with Chris from Detecting NEPA. Maybe towards the end of the week, not sure yet, depends on his work schedule. But I'm gonna get out. I'm gonna get out and, you know, do some door knocking and see what else we can come up with. So, all right, guys, take care. Thanks for watching.